Welcome everybody to a special edition of True Story Bro. This is not live though. Ha ha. I'm one of your hosts, Echo Ninja, and with me is one of the biggest, one of the other biggest Last of Us fan. Man has no nickname. What's up, man? Has a nickname? What's going on?
What's up? Chilling, ready for
So, oh yeah. I've I've been we've been waiting for this show for so long. At first they were gonna, they were thinking about doing a movie for it. But as we saw that was it, hour and 19 minutes was not enough. Like I don't know how
I
they
would
would
have been. I would have been hurt if that would have been all crammed into
yeah.
2 hour movie or something like that.
Mm,
Man, because just that first hour and 20 minutes for that first episode,
yeah. And
I
you
am
know what?
locked in.
Right. And the thing is about it is that I okay, so before we get into everything, folks, I am going to make this clear that we will not be anybody who hasn't played the game. We will not be throwing spoilers out of the game until the later half of the episode. We'll let you know. But in the beginning half, we're just going to talk about the episode and the comparison to the first episode
Yeah.
from the game.
Which I
So
mean, if you haven't played the game yet, I mean, obviously, if you're not a gamer, that's cool. But if
true.
you haven't played the game yet and you're an avid gamer, you should just kill yourself.
Oh man. But I mean, he's not lying. I'm just saying he's not lying.
I can't tell you how many times I've played this game. Like I've lost count. That's how many times I've played it. And
No, well,
I played it across 3 generations so far. So that tells you how long this game has been out.
so tell us from with the first Last of Us game, how many times have you played it from PlayStation 3 all the way to PlayStation 5?
So I picked this thing up midnight release, right? I waited
Uh-huh.
2 years for this game to come out. When it
Uh-huh.
finally dropped, I got it midnight release, played it midnight, and I think what I've played it about 2 or 3 times on PS3. Then the PS4 dropped, and I got the remastered edition for PS4.
So did I.
So I played that a couple times. I think I played it like 2 or 3 more times on my console, and then I had a friend of mine that she had got the game, but she doesn't play games. So she was like, "Yeah, I'll watch you play it." So I sat there and I played it again while I was out there. I just played the game, beat it, and then now I literally just picked it up for the PS5, and
this this
I'm playing through it right now. Actually,
this
it's on the screen right now.
this guy is a simp for Last of Us right now.
That's what you want to call it.
But you know what? Might as well call me that too, because it's quite possibly the greatest storytelling game ever told for PlayStation in general.
For sure.
Next to and that's saying a lot only because they're only but a handful, and I mean literally a handful of games that can be considered in the best storytelling narrative game type thing. Like, for instance, I was having this conversation with some of my coworkers, and one of my supervisors said that when I told him Last of Us was one of those games that had one of the best stories ever done for PlayStation, and he was all like, I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10, but it is really good. I was like, what? Really? You don't think so? I was like, so what would you consider one of the greatest narrative games? And he said, the 2018 God of War, the one before Ragnarok.
The one before Ragnarok?
Right.
Okay.
And I'm all like, you know what? Okay, at least you chose one that I can agree with. You weren't gonna come out of nowhere and say like Call of Duty. Really? Like kill yourself.
I was even thinking Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, Red Dead. Whoo,
Red
whoo.
Red Dead
Red Dead Redemption 2 is that's another tearjerker at the end. But let's get on with this episode. So the episode starts out with, was it 1962 or 1963?
1968.
1968. They're basically, you got these guys talking about pandemics and stuff like that, and it's kind of interesting how the, in those days in the 60s, everybody was so, viral scares and stuff like that, so everything virus. So when the other guy was talking about, fungus, basically the fungal bacteria and stuff like that, being a big pandemic thing, oh, it doesn't seem like anything, but he made it sound so believable.
That was, I found it unnerving a little bit the way he was explaining it, because
Yeah.
I've looked into things like that and I've seen like how he explained the whole fungus that attacks the ants.
Ants, yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. So when he explained it and was like, "Hey, this can be a global pandemic. All that needs to happen is the weather needs to change. It can just be a little bit more warmer than usual, and
Right.
something like this will happen. And what that is just nature taking its course and trying to protect itself."
Right, exactly. And that the actor is John Hannah. He was in, oh god, the Mummy movies. He was
Yes.
the brother. Okay, just to let you know, my fiance never played the game. She has it on her PlayStation. She has it on her PlayStation 5. She got it as a PlayStation Plus. Never played the game. Never. And I looked at her and I was like, so you know nothing. She was like, I know aspects of it, but I don't know, the beginning and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. I'ma shut up. You just watch.
Oof.
And I let her, oh my God. It's quite possibly the best experience to watch someone for the first time see that as live action. Imagine seeing it when you're playing the game, bro.
Yeah.
But fast forward to 2003. So it looks like they kind of updated it a bit, because in the game, the game takes place in 2013, which at the time was the same time the game came out.
Yeah.
So it was more very present day. They now I have to. It's funny because uh, I didn't expect it to be almost shot for shot and line for line for majority of that beginning time in 2003. But holy shit! Like I caught myself when I was watching it again today. I caught myself like verbally saying the lines
Yeah.
as it was going, and I was like, oh man,
Yep. That's
oh, it
exactly
was
what happened with
great.
me. I'm watching it and
It was,
I'm repeating the lines as it's going, and I'm like, I remember this part.
and I have to say, the girl who played Sarah was actually really good. I was so invested in her character. I love how they expanded on her so much
As
to
much,
make it so heartbreaking at the
I
end.
mean, and you don't even need to do that because you see Sarah very, very briefly in the game,
Yeah,
and you even play as her for like
right.
all of maybe like 3 minutes, and then that happens,
Yeah,
and then you're like, bro. I remember the first time that I played it, that midnight. I had played it, I put it in, and I'm seeing all the events unfold, and
yeah,
when she when she dies, I freaking lose it and I start crying. Like I'm talking about like bawling.
Ugly cry. Yeah.
And then literally all it shows is Joel holding Sarah's dead body, and then it cuts to the title. And I sat there for the whole like intro to the game, like just yo, am I really about to get myself into this game at 1 o'clock in the morning right now?
Yo.
This is so intense. I think I need to shut this off. But I continued to play because it was just it already caught my attention.
Oh
And
my
it's
god.
the same thing with this episode. The very beginning, you know, if you're a fan of the game, you know exactly what's coming and what Sarah's fate is. But as you go and you progress through the episode, you're like, yo, they gave her more of a story so that way she feels more of a real character. And
Yeah.
then when you see how gruesome she dies in this one versus the video game, yo, I lost it. I literally had to pause the show and just collect myself because I was like sobbing. I
Yeah.
felt like she was my family member and she just died in front of me.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how powerful that scene was.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
could not believe it. Like it was insane. It was incredible. I loved every minute of that. Yeah, they did change a few parts here and there, but I don't expect them to go,
I
you
didn't
know,
mind it.
bar for bar.
I
You know, I
actually
don't
didn't
expect them
mind the
to bar for bar
change.
100%. They literally that whole beginning part of that first episode, I would say maybe about 80% was literally from the video game. 20% was just them doing other things.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they developed on Sarah. They developed on the neighbors too, because they didn't
Yep.
show us the neighbors at all in the game. They
No.
just showed the neighbor when he burst into the house and then Joel shot him.
But did you okay, so now go back piggybacking on the fact of what you were saying and how they fleshed her out into like a real character, like even the parts where the little parts where she was in school and I wonder if you know, I want to see if you noticed when that thing was beaming on her eyes and she looked over, the kid was twitching.
Yes.
It's one of the signs. I was all like, oh
Yes.
shit! And then you heard the sudden cough. Like,
Mhm.
well, actually, I was like, oh Christ! We're us these days. We hear a cough and we're already traumatized. we hear somebody.
I thought they were gonna go a completely different route, and I was like, "Oh, are they about to change this on me?" And this, again, it's because they added stuff in there that we did not see. They gave us, a bit of a filler, which is good, because again, you get to build character. That's the main thing, and I think a lot of people are catching whiff of what DC did when they didn't develop the characters, and then the shit just end up being shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and of course this is HBO, so they're like, "Yo, bro, make sure you develop these characters."
Yeah. They was like, listen, HBO, you know who you work for.
Yes, develop
Just
the
saying,
character.
develop the characters. But I had when I found out early on that both the writers of the game, well, not both the writers of the game, well, what the creator of the game,
Yeah,
and
Neil Druckmann was a very, very big part of the show, which I like.
yes,
He was able to bring his vision to the silver screen, which is great.
they brought the creator of the game in as a writer, and they brought the writer of Chernobyl in as
Yeah,
well, which was a really good show as well. I
that was
really
an
liked
awesome
that
show.
show. And the music, they brought it back. They got the guy to do the music.
You had to. You had to. I didn't
Oh,
expect them to do any less than that.
Gustavo.
I did not expect them to do anything less than that. If they would have made some BS for the show,
Yeah,
which by the way, I mean, I kind of did like that intro, but I also didn't like it because it was very Game of Thrones-esque.
it was, but it
It
did have
looked like the
some.
entrance to Game of Thrones. So I was
it,
like, what is this?
it's HBO. What do you expect? But also, it kind of played the same feel as the intro to the game, but the game was in black and white. and
Yeah,
kind of showed the same thing, but it didn't create it like a city and all this other stuff. That's just TV show stuff.
yeah,
But I still I again everything, it felt like I was playing the game, man. It
yeah,
really did. Like and the part where she went to the she she stole some of his money
yeah,
to repair his watch. I was like, oh, God, I really don't. And I kept saying to myself, oh God, I don't want her to die. I don't want her to die. It was just horrible because I knew it was coming.
yeah,
And let me tell you, Gabriel Luna, such an underrated actor. I couldn't tell whether they dubbed what's his name? God, what's his name? Jeffrey. What's
Jeffrey
that guy's
Pierce.
name again? Yeah, I couldn't tell whether they were dubbing Jeffrey Pierce's voice or not, but he actually
He
did
sounds
the
just like
voice
Tommy.
himself.
He sounds just like Tommy, and
Oh my God.
you did get a little bit of a Joel in Pedro Pascal,
Yeah,
which was great as well.
another great
But
actor.
you definitely get a little bit of the you definitely get a little bit of the Mando in there too.
Oh yeah.
You could definitely hear that just coming through every once in a while.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially in the 20-year jump. You start
Yeah,
seeing a little bit of it.
but he's more dark and just very
Yeah.
yeah.
But I have to say my favorite scene in the entire show. So I'm actually that's actually the next thing I'm getting to was after they show one of my favorite lines in the beginning of the game, which is basically, "Oh, where'd you get the money for this? Drugs. I sell
Oh
hardcore drugs."
yeah,
Oh man, and um, and then like it shows the whole thing with her waking up in the bed, just like the game, calling out for her dad, just like the game, and then but the twist, and I've noticed because I was looking at some videos of the game just to see the comparisons,
yeah.
and you can hear the dog barking when she's
Mhm.
calling for her dad, and then the dog is barking out there, and then it shows the dog. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm with that dog. Yo, I was like, nah, I'm not going back in that house. Yo.
No, the dog knew, that's one. But here's my thing with the game: the dog dies because you hear the dog barking, and then you hear the little whoop, and then that's it. You don't hear the dog
Uh-huh.
anymore.
Yeah.
This one, she saw the dog outside and was trying to figure out what was going on. She knew that it was the neighbor's dog, so she goes to bring it to the neighbor. The dog's like, "Nah, bro, I'm out of here," and dip.
That'll be a no for me, dog.
You know. So I mean, again, that's things that they developed on the show because she didn't even go outside.
No, she
This one,
didn't.
she went outside. She went into the neighbor's house and saw them being eaten alive, and that was super bloody.
Did you catch the Resident Evil vibe, yo?
Yes,
The
I
very first game when they showed the zombie for the first time, and
I don't
but
like
instead,
the little fungal strings coming out of the mouth. I didn't see that. That wasn't part of the game. It was in a sense because some of the older, more
Mhm.
mutated zombies do have kind of like something coming out of their mouths and shit, or and like out of their face.
But uh,
It was just that was just a little weird to me because it felt like they weren't just biting them; they were actually like spreading something.
well, here's the thing: the creator of the game, he actually said that that was actually a part of the concept art of how they originally perceived them to the early ones to be, because they're not there to feed on people.
Yeah,
They're there to
they're there to
spread it.
spread it. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it was their way of spreading because it's fungus,
Hmm.
you know, and earlier in the show, man, when they showed the old lady in the background and she was twitching and shit, I was like, oh God, no. What?
I saw that and I was like, all right, yep, they changed it. They changed it this way. Now I see how it got into the little neighborhood, you
Hmm.
know. And then
Oh, and
when
Go ahead.
When Joe pulled up in the truck, he came out with that mean ass wrench.
The sound the sound effects in this show. Oh man, it's like I can hear it in the game. The cocking of the guns and stuff like that. I was like, whew, it's just like the game.
Yeah,
Oh man, it was crazy.
gotta do it.
They
Gotta do it.
It was great. But did you peep the one Easter egg where she got the DVD? Was it a Clyde and Viper 2? It was an Easter egg that she picked up in the second game, where the girlfriend of Ellie
Hmm.
was asking, "Oh, when what's that movie? What's this movie that you're supposed to be trying to find?" And she was like, "Oh, it's like Joel's favorite movie. It's Clyde and Viper 2, some old 80s bad action movie." and it was there.
Oh yeah,
And it was
I
there.
didn't
I
even
was
think
like,
that, and I
"Oh shit."
saw that, and I was just like, "That's got to be some type of Easter egg," because I've never seen that, and that looks wild to me right now.
And the guitar was in his room.
Yeah,
Another thing, I saw it on somebody's Easter egg thing, saying that, and they went into good detail when they saw this. It was during the breakfast scene. There was a soccer ball in the background,
yeah,
and it indicates the fact that she won a soccer tournament. In the game, you see a picture of her
yeah,
and Joel, and I was
yeah,
like, God, how do you see that? I didn't
yeah.
even see that shit. But
People just analyze everything, which
yeah.
yeah, I'll do that after maybe I watch it for a second or third time.
Oh
But like
yeah.
I I gave this a once over and I just stuck to the main details, you know.
Of course, of course. The things that you would overtly see, definitely.
Exactly.
But after Joel hits the old lady with the the wrench, and my favorite part of the show is the truck ride. Like,
Yeah,
no lie,
that was the same thing.
the truck ride was quite possibly my favorite part of this show, because it is beat for beat
Yep.
the game itself. Every single word they said, every movement, even the cop cars going a certain way in the signs.
Yep.
I was like,
Yep. The
yo,
signs, the cop
this
car,
is the
yeah,
same
everything was the same.
thing. The stranded family on the end, and him saying the same line. He was like, they got a kid. He was like, I got one too. Keep going. I was like, yo.
Yeah. It seemed a lot more intense though.
Oh yeah, it was, because
A lot more intense.
I do feel in the game, the driving and the streets were more
Calm.
compact. Yeah,
It
more
was more
calmer,
calm,
and
yeah.
yeah, but in the show it was so much more crazy.
Because you see the
and
chaos that's just unfolding in front of you.
and then did you see the fake out? Because now in the game they get hit with the truck, and the fake out, the truck almost hits them, and you see the camera look towards the
Yeah.
truck. I was like,
I saw the truck coming and I'm like, "Oh, no," and then they didn't get hit with the truck, and I'm like, "Oh, so are they changing that?" And then you see the plane coming in, I'm like,
yeah.
"No, what is?"
I saw that plane. I was like, oh, it's curtains. It's curtains. It's done. Oh my god. And then we get to the part where he has to hold her through the whole thing, which they uh they expanded on a lot more, and they just made it with Sarah and Joel. Um Tommy, he was kind of like meeting them on the other side and whatnot, instead
Yeah,
of running with them.
yeah, that's what happened. So, I mean, that was again, that was something that was different. It didn't
Hmm.
bother me too much that
No,
was different
none of
because
that bothered
it
me.
literally showed that they were just split off.
Right,
So they had to go their own separate ways, and he was like, "I'll find you on the other side,"
right,
and
right.
that's exactly what he did. Because at that point, when he met the guy, the military dude,
Yeah,
he ended up popping up again because that was his cue.
Oh, and by the way, I found out that the military dude is actually one of the creators of is actually the writer and the creator of the show, Craig Mazin. He's the cameo of the military guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so apparently he did that as a cameo, and again, beat for beat, word for word, like same thing, and then the God, that it's funny. It doesn't when people mention the word gruesome, they imagine like gory and stuff like that. But when you said it earlier that the show made it seem so much more brutal than the game, you were absolutely right, because the tension was you can cut the tension with like a chainsaw, bro. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
The way she was sobbing,
Mm-hmm.
and then the way he picks her up and he's like,
Yep.
I know, and I'm like,
Yep.
oh my god,
He's like, I know
I
it
know,
hurts.
dude,
He's like, I know it hurts, baby. It
I
hurts.
know, bro.
And then they
And then she just
switched it. They switched it to Tommy, and then they switched it to her, and she was just limp. And I was like, oh god.
yeah, that's and there was so much more blood just everywhere,
Way
just
more.
all over Joel,
Yep.
and uh and 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 to only think that all of this happened and this was only like 30 minutes into the episode.
Yep. And then they
30
yeah.
minutes.
And then they went fade to black, just like the game. And then it went 20 years later. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. That's the only thing, because for the show they did
The title early.
the title
Yeah.
early. So in the game the title is right after that,
Yeah.
and then it's the 20-year jump. But from there they just faded to black 20 years later.
Right.
Yo,
And
my man was 56 fucking people up like that. Yo, that shit is crazy.
yeah, bro. And then so then we switched to Boston in 2023, where we see another scene that's not in the game. We see a boy walking through the wasteland, who I immediately knew that that kid had what was like that kid had something. Like I automatically knew that shit. I was like, but and then as soon as I saw the red, and she was like, oh, everything's fine. Oh, and I forgot the color. I thought the color red was like, oh, they're negative. Okay, no, no, no. Who do I see on that fucking truck? That fucking kid. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this fucking show, bro.
Yep.
Oh, and the lady was all like, I can't do it. And then that's when we see Joel for the first time after 20 years. Rugged, gray, just like the game, rugged, gray, jaded, doesn't give a shit. He grabbed the kid, just soulless in the face, and just tossed him in the fire. And it was just like but it was like when he was doing that, holding the kid, I had a flashback of him holding Sarah,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh god.
That's gotta be rough. There's no way that you can see that and just be like,
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, especially, since we know the game as well, Joel has been very cold
Oh yeah.
to basically everyone in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he only had like a few people with him, and Tess being one of them
Yeah.
that we get to meet as well.
Now, and then he's like he's practically like a drug dealer in this.
Well, I mean, that's technically what they were.
Yeah, they were
They were
smugglers.
they were smugglers of all
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So
And
we just actually get to see what he smuggles.
right, and the one thing is that I did like really well is the fact that, okay, so we know in the game that him and Tommy stopped speaking after a while.
Yeah.
But in the show, he still keeps in touch with Tommy.
That's what kind of confused me a little bit. Like they kept in contact for all that time, and then because I know in the game he's like, I haven't spoken to my brother in years,
Yeah, but I have,
and this one he's like, I haven't spoken to my brother in like 3 weeks. I'm like, bro, okay,
but I kind of actually like it because it doesn't make it just a mission for him later on. It makes it personal for him. Like now he's
yeah.
going out to find his brother. But
But they also do explain that he got into a disagreement with him,
oh yeah, they
and that's
did.
the reason why they kind of stopped talking. So he was waiting for him to reach out, and he still hadn't reached out.
Correct. No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And then we meet Tess with Robert. She
I thought we were gonna see that whole thing unravel. I thought they would have let that stretched out, but that was also a very minuscule part
it was
of the that beginning
it
part.
wasn't an
So
important mission,
no,
so that's why they just was like, nope.
yeah, they got rid of it. I did want to see them interrogate Robert though, because that's a badass situation.
But but I think they're saving this because they've already showed Robert is afraid of Joel. Everyone's afraid of Joel because like
Everyone's afraid of
he.
but then we're not going to see Robert again because we don't see Robert for the rest of the game. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Like Robert
Robert's dead in the show.
in the show.
Yeah,
When did he got murdered? I didn't even see that.
he was right next to the battery, bro. That was
Oh,
him.
oh wow! I was trying to figure out what the fuck happened. I didn't remember it because again, I was still trying to process Sarah's death.
I know.
So I'm like, bro, and then I see the explosion go off, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh
Why
yeah,
was there an
man.
explosion?
Oh yeah. Robert got murked
Okay,
bad.
so he got his comeuppance. All
Yeah,
right,
he got murked by the Fireflies.
that's crazy.
And,
See, I told you I only watched it once.
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm liking the reaction that's coming from you. It's like, damn, I gotta watch this shit again. So yeah, and then I feel that they, for TV show purposes, they made the relationship between Tess and Joel a little bit more romantic-ish
Yeah.
than the game, because in the game he was so jaded.
I feel like they did that, and they just showed us, a little more to their relationship because I feel like they most likely
Right,
did have some type of relationship. That was the underlying stuff
right,
because you
right.
saw how upset he got when he found out she was bitten.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
which they haven't gotten to that part yet. That's definitely going to be in the next episode.
Right.
But she gets bitten, and he's like, "What? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not gonna leave you here." She's like, "Nah, bro, I got it."
That's
Can't wait
right.
for that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that either.
Yeah, because I think that's gonna be. I think that's probably gonna be the first time that we might see clickers as well next episode
Probably, yeah, probably next episode.
because they did show a clicker at the end of the episode.
Yes, because man, that thing on the wall.
Yeah,
Woo! That was sick. That shit was sick on the wall. Oh my god. Okay, so then we meet Ellie. And oh man, I have to say,
the way
yeah.
the way Joe was ragdolled her when she came out with the knife.
Oh hell yeah!
I started crying.
She was like, oh, he was like, wow.
That's a perfect way to introduce them too.
Oh my god! But the first time we meet Ellie is hilarious because she just embodied her so much. Bella Ramsey.
Yes.
She just embodied her so much. It was fun. She's like 1, 2, 3, and then she got the 7, 8. Fuck you.
That is good. And
Oh
again,
God.
it's another scene that we didn't get.
Right.
In, you know, we were
Yeah.
introduced to Ellie once. We found Marlene and Marlene was shot.
Right.
This one
And
here, they show her that she's chained up and they're trying
right.
to figure out what's wrong with her. And Marlene is talking to her and all this shit.
Yeah.
So
And
it
the
makes it
thing
seem like
is,
they didn't know each other at all. And then
right.
until they did.
Yeah, because in the game, you when you see them both, they're like the best of friends,
Yeah, they
and
have a
you don't
relationship.
understand how. But in the show, you see why. You see
They didn't
why
even know. But
because
here's the thing: they didn't even know each other because when she was talking to her, she was like, "Wait, are you my mother?" And she's like, "No, I'm not your mom, but I knew your mom, and I promised your mom that I would take care of you."
right.
You
But
know,
the
in the
thing, but
game, she was like, she knew who she was, and she actually, helped raise her.
good. um, no, but yeah, the thing with that, like she even said that she told her why she was there, which we'll explain later during the spoiler thing, and and then it's so funny how she was all like, I love how they got the voice actress to play Marlene again. That was dope. That's I that was top notch. I really like that, and it's funny. It didn't dawn on me until like I kept hearing the voice, and I was like, God, she sounds so fucking familiar.
Yeah,
But yeah. So after they get to the hallway and we see murked up Robert and the rest of those motherfuckers dead in the hallway. This one bitch got no ear. I
yeah, that was so random. And
was like, how did you get no ear? Like,
she was like, "You got shot. I'll take Ellie. Don't worry about it." She's like, "Bitch, you don't have an ear, so you're not taking her either." What the fuck?
oh my god. So the they basically it was so funny when Ellie goes to get the knife again and he points the gun at her and they're just like, whoa, point the gun at me, not at her. And then he pointed the gun back at them and then they put their guns down. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's the respect Joel has.
I was all like, man, I was like, this guy is. I now playing the game. Yes, Joel is dangerous,
Yes.
but and it's funny because they even said we know how capable you are, so you're good for this. And Ellie's all like, how capable is he? And I was like, you'll find out. And
No
she
one
did
knows.
at the end of the episode.
Yep.
Woo!
Yep. So
Speak. Go ahead.
actually, did you see the behind the episode?
Yes. Yes, I did.
So they explain that scene, and they showed how um Ellie uh caught like a sense of respect for Joel
Yeah.
because
I. Mhm.
he actually treated her as if he protected her as if that was his child because he
Mhm.
saw what was getting ready to happen, but
Mhm.
she saw it as someone was actually willing to step in front of her and protect her, which she normally doesn't have. So she already started to build admiration for him very, very, very early in the show, and we didn't really see that, in the
No,
game.
we didn't. Yeah, we certainly didn't. I mean, I even heard in an interview that um, I forgot who it was with. I think it was with the other Craig Mazing, where he said that there's almost like this deep love for one another as the show progresses. But the
Mhm.
thing he said, but the thing is about love is that it can be super dangerous. He was like, and that's what it would. That's what I'm trying. That's what they were trying to kind of
Yeah,
convey into this. That yeah, love has always seemed like this happy-go-lucky thing, but it can also be one of the most dangerous things ever because it makes you do the most craziest things.
yeah,
And one I forgot the name of the. I was watching Real Rejects, and they were looking at the Easter eggs of a heavy spoiler, and he mentioned that as in one episode when Sarah saw Joel kill someone for the first time, Sarah freaked out and kind of started weeping and kind of was afraid. But
yeah.
when Ellie saw it, she almost looked like she liked it.
Yep.
So I was like, okay. Oh boy. But I mean, again, we'll find out more on that as the show goes by. And anyone who's played the game knows why. And just like you explained it, it's someone who someone else instead of Marlene for the first time who's just jumping in front of her and actually protecting her like she's
Yeah.
a person.
I'm
And
excited, but I'm not excited. The only reason why is because I know it's only 9 episodes, so when that ninth episode comes, it's just gonna come to an end.
yeah, it is.
And that last episode is gonna be dramatic as hell.
Oh yeah, yes it will.
Actually,
And
I think right now, if I want to say it, I'm playing Last of Us Part One on PS5. I
mm,
should be on episode 9 right now.
I think so.
That's where I'm at in the game. I should be on episode 9 right now. I'm in the
um,
tunnel right before you get to the hospital.
all right, so now that we're done with the show itself, we're gonna talk a little bit of spoilers, maybe like 5-10 minutes. No, so anybody who don't want to be spoiled, get the fuck out. Anybody else who's still here, good luck. So the whole factor of Marlene telling that one girl about the factor of Ellie being the cure. Did you notice that?
No,
No. She
no.
remember when she gave her the piece of paper and she was like, "Is this for real? And is this real?" He was like, She was like, "I believe so." She was
Was that her indicating that she had the cure technically?
yeah, because when Marlene went to go see Ellie, she told her because she said, "And if you repeat this to anyone, you're more likely to be killed."
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, she told Ellie that she had the cure, that she was the cure, because as we see at the end of the show, she got the infection that was 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
And then we see the in the beginning of the 2023 era, we see the on the wall, we see the different body parts getting bit or whatever, and the times of infection and stuff like that. So I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, this girl should have been dead a while ago.
Yeah.
but yeah, Marlene told that black girl who now has a missing ear. I still don't know how she got a missing ear, yo.
That was she.
Did it
She
get
probably got
shot
that
off?
shit shot off. It probably got shot off.
Probably, man. But
That was yo. That was and it's crazy because they just walked into that room, that little hallway, and it was just bodies.
yeah, yeah. Now we all know that Gabriel Luna, Tommy is a part of the Fireflies, and that's probably why those two had their spat. Their little tiff with each other,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a little small thing where the one guy was all like, "Hey, friend," and then what's name was all like, "If you tell me to go into the light, I'm gonna break your jaw." I was like, "Oh my god." I found that so funny. I was like, "Holy shit, that was great." Oh my god. I completely forgot that Bella Ramsey was British.
Yes.
They was
Yes.
like she had to learn an American accent and cut her hair over 15 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
just to be in the role. Oh my gosh.
She fits
But
it though, and a lot of people were saying that she doesn't look like she's gonna fit it. She fits it. She fits
oh
it
yeah,
very
she
well.
really does. I mean, anyone who's watched her character in Game of Thrones, yeah. She
Yeah.
fits it. She fits it. She fucking fits it.
Because
Now,
I always try to think who would be best in that role, and then when
mhm,
they started when like throwing hints out of certain people, and then they
mhm.
mentioned her after me watching Game of Thrones, I was like, oh, she definitely might be able to fit that role. I just would have to see her in it, and then we got a chance to see it, and it's pretty good so far, so good.
No fucking way.
What?
Okay, so I'm on Wikipedia, right?
Hmm.
And the voice actors of Joel, Tommy, and Ellie are in this.
Yeah,
Ashley Johnson plays Ellie's mother.
okay. That
Troy
kind of
Baker.
sucks because I figured they probably if they decided to do like a season two and do the game or maybe even
Yeah, I
later on in
know.
life, I would definitely use Ashley Johnson at that point
I
because
know.
she does look like Ellie.
Right.
And of course she has the voice because she plays Ellie's voice in part two as well.
Correct. Troy Baker plays James, a senior member of a group of settlers. And Jeffrey Pierce plays Perry, who's the rebel in the quarantine zone.
Okay.
That's kind of cool. Did I miss that, or it didn't come
We
up
probably
yet?
didn't even see that yet.
Okay. Because I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah, we probably haven't seen that yet because they didn't show her mother yet.
No, oh, well, the mother part, yeah, I knew they weren't going. I know that part, but I'm talking about Jeffrey Pierce's part because they say he's a rebel in
They
the
said
quarantine zone.
he's in 5 episodes. He's from episode 2 to 6.
Oh, okay, so never mind. So we'll see him next episode.
Yeah, that's what IMDb has him credited as.
Gotcha. So all right. So what do you think? Do you think the next episode's do you think next episode's gonna be like just an hour instead of an hour and some change?
I would hope so.
Because I'm looking at the running time, it says 46 minutes to 81 minutes. So I'm guessing like this one was like an 85-minute show, the
Yeah,
first episode, which I understand. But but other than that, I am so excited, but I'm really at the same time I don't want to rush this show so bad. I
and I'm
don't want
glad
to rush
I
it.
spoke with someone earlier today, and they were like, "I'm so upset that that it was only one episode that came out, and it wasn't uh all 9 episodes." And I was like, first of all, you don't rush greatness. Second of all, if all 9 episodes would have came out, I would have not worked. I would have watched this shit all day today
Hmm.
because yo,
I'd rather savor it. I'd rather watch it in a weekly basis.
I because of what we've become accustomed to over the past few years with having everything uh watchable on demand, and people just putting out entireties of seasons in one go so that way you're sitting there binge watching the show. Obviously, we've become accustomed to that. So I would have loved to have seen all 9 episodes already, just because I've been waiting for something like this to come out for such a long time. you know,
Right.
and it's with Naughty Dog and Last of Us, it's been more of a weight game than anything else when it comes to The Last of Us.
Of course.
Any of their titles, even Uncharted was the same thing. We finally got an Uncharted movie not too long ago, but Uncharted the movie fits better than Uncharted the series, which
Oh,
I can see Uncharted as a series as well. But it definitely feels more of an extravagant movie.
yeah, Uncharted fits more like a movie than a TV
Yeah.
show. Last of Us fits better as a TV show than a movie, and I'm glad they changed it
hmm
from a movie to a TV show because that would have made people mad.
That movie would have been so short, and it would have been so unsettling to just see everything just unfold.
Yeah, and it would have been so not properly done and all this other stuff. So I'm really glad that they changed it up.
Yeah, that was Neil
Um,
though. He fought for it to come in any type of medium that he could have it come out in.
oh yeah.
And I know some people were fighting for a show, and whoever was fighting for this to be a show, kudos to you because sheesh,
Hmm.
we're definitely gonna get, we're definitely in for a wild ride with this show, and I can't wait to see what happens with it. Even though I gotta wait a whole other week now for this fucking episode to come out.
Well, it's my new Sunday thing now that Walking Dead is over for me. So
I gave up on that show a while ago.
I know. There's a
I
few
mean,
people that gave up on it,
it
but
wasn't
I stuck with it for a bit.
it wasn't even like give up on it. I just like slowly stopped watching it.
Hmm.
But you know, I still find myself from time to time going back to try to catch up on some of the episodes.
I mean, they're all on Netflix now.
Are
All
they?
le- all third all 11 seasons. Yeah.
All right, I gotta check it out because I think the last thing I saw was when Carl died. That was the last thing I saw.
Oh, okay. So you're actually only a few seasons behind.
Yeah,
You're probably only like three or four seasons behind.
yeah.
No, 4 seasons. Yeah. Um, but yeah, any closing thoughts?
No, if I were to rate this episode as a whole,
Hmm.
right now I'm at a 10 out of 10.
I'm fucking with you with this. I'm not even
I'm
gonna
at a,
lie.
I'm at a 10 out of 10 for the episode. I mean, yes, I love the game, but I'm
And
not
he's
trying
not saying it because he's a simp.
I'm not trying to be biased at all. But at the end of the day, when you pay attention to the craft and you pay homage to the game itself, and you curate a proper cast,
Hmm.
like that had to be damn near perfect for them to do.
Oh yeah.
They were able to get a pretty good cast. You know what I'm
And we
saying? And
still we
now
still got more people to see.
we got plenty of more people to see. I'm more interested in seeing Bill Orfman as fucking. I'm waiting to see Bill's character.
Oh yeah. Nick Orfman.
Nick Orfman, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
waiting to see Bill's character, yo, because that shit it looks crazy, and to see him in that capacity, I'm like, wait a minute, I need to see what's going on with this.
Oh hell yeah. Cause Bill was one of those characters. Bill and Frank.
Yeah, which is funny because we don't see Frank at all in the game,
Right.
and they're going to develop Frank's character.
Correct.
And from my understanding, Bill is is Bill gay
I don't know actually.
because he said he was his partner, and the clips that I seen, they look like they were together.
Well, from this point, okay, so I'm reading here. It says Frank is seen briefly in the first game as a corpse,
Yes.
but has no dialogue. But it says Dirkman expected some fans to be upset by Frank's inclusion in the show due to the divergence from the game's narrative.
Yeah.
Now,
because
I
again,
don't
I think we're gonna get a whole episode geared towards Bill.
I don't mind that.
Most likely that's what's gonna happen. We're either gonna get flashbacks or we're gonna have a whole episode geared towards Bill because
Right.
it looks like from some of like the screen grabs and some of I think at the end of the first episode they ended up putting up like a trailer of what's to come.
Right.
And they did show Bill and Frank several times. Bill's supposed to be in 4 episodes.
Well, he's an important character.
Bill's in 4 episodes, and so is Frank. So that tells you that there.
Yeah, Bill is going to be seen in the third episode. He's going to be introduced in the third episode.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting strong. But thank you guys for watching this 1 hour episode. Even though this is going to be cut a little bit, but not too much because it's still going to be an hour show. We hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to make sure you get updated on all things True Story Bro. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. That's on the bottom. And follow us on our Twitter and our Twitch. And make sure you also go to drinkwildbills.com, our sponsor forever and always. They have wonderful seasonal drinks that comes out every season. Hopefully, maybe they might come out with something during the spring. And you can put in our code True Story Bro, get yourselves 10% off on any purchase you get from them. And it's not a limited time code. You can use it anytime. And make sure you also go to our merch store, truestorybro.shop, to get our faces on your body. Sounds kind of weird, but
very weird.
But do that. Until then, guys, we will see you next Sunday. We'll see you next Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, whichever. But we'll see you next week with more Last of Us for next episode. Okay, bye.